Hello footballers and welcome back to our channel, where today it's all about the forces behind Real Madrid. Jude Bellingham this, Jude Bellingham that. The entire football world seems to be buzzing about the English midfielder. But hang on a minute, we're about to drop a bombshell. What if we told you that Jude isn't the only Real Madrid player set to light up Europe? Intrigued? Buckle up, hit like and subscribe as we dive deep into the list of all the amazing Real Madrid players you absolutely need to keep an eye on. But hey, let's kick things off with the man of the hour, Jude Bellingham. Scoring 12 goals from 11 games in midfield? Check. Winning the Ballon d'Or Young Player of the Year award? Check. But here's the kicker. Carlo Ancelotti's tactical masterclass has unlocked Jude's full potential, switching to a 4-3-1-2 diamond midfield with Jude at the helm. Genius. And just like that, the €103 million splashed out on Jude seems like an absolute steal. But enough with hyping up the Englishman. Other Real Madrid players deserve to be recognised. And believe it or not, each of these players will help the Los Blancos dominate Europe at a certain point in the near future. Enter Federico Valverde, the three-lunged dynamo from Uruguay. Federico was spotted by Real Madrid after his impressive rise at Peñarol in Uruguay. He was then signed, included to Real Madrid Castilla, loaned out to Deportivo La Coruña, and then brought back to Madrid's senior club in 2018. Since then, Fede has become an absolute fan favourite. And why is that, you might ask? Well, it all started with his famous tackle on Alvaro Morata in the Spanish Super Cup. With seconds remaining in the game, Atletico's forward was free on goal, but Fede decided to sacrifice himself and was sent off for his tackle on Morata. Madrid went on to win the trophy on penalties, and Fede made himself a legend to the supporters. Not only that, remember Real Madrid's last Champions League win? He was behind the game's only goal as he put in an excellent cross to Vinicius Jr., who scored the winner against Liverpool. Fede stated that he would run for Real Madrid until his legs burst. And to be fair, he's pretty much literally doing that. He's dubbed as the three-lunged midfielder for a reason. It feels like Real Madrid has an extra player whenever he's on the field. Did you think that was his only winning trait? Think again. This man can dribble and launch some rockets with his right foot. Want some proof? Check his goals against Mallorca and Napoli. If that doesn't blow your mind, we don't know what will. The 25-year-old is also highly versatile. He can play in midfield as a false right winger who provides cover for the fullback, or even as a right back. Clone Fede 3 times and you'll have 3 of the best players in the world to cover 3 positions. And now, speaking of versatility, our next player has left everyone stunned with his adaptability. But first, hit those like and subscribe buttons so we can bring you more amazing videos and content like this. Okay, ever thought that a young midfielder would ever be able to play at left back? That is what the French sensation Eduardo Camavinga has managed to do. In 2021, Manchester United were all over the player, trying to strike a deal with his club, Stade Rennais. However, Real Madrid came in swiftly and stole the player for just €31 million. Brought in as a central midfielder, but then tasked to play as a left back. What did Camavinga do? Produce one masterclass after another. The 20-year-old showed high defensive maturity, always ready to match his opponent's movements to make perfectly timed tackles. Best example of that, the way he nullified Barcelona's right winger, Rafinha, in the Copa del Rey semi-final second leg of the last campaign. Now for this current season, Don Carlo started to rely on Camavinga in his natural position, deploying him at left centre midfield. Now this is where he began to showcase his true potential. The boy is press resistant, has a remarkable ability to progress the ball with his dribbling or his line-breaking passes, and is also great out of possession due to his excellent reading of the pitch, allowing him to break opponents' attacks. He's probably the most all-round midfielder in the world. If you watched Camavinga playing, having no idea who he is, you'd never guess that he's only 20 years old. Have you noticed the trend yet? Every player we've talked about are midfielders. So it's only fair to finish up with the final piece of the midfield puzzle, Aureliene Tchouameni. Imagine Eduardo Camavinga, but on steroids. That's exactly what Tchouameni is. Not to say that he's better than his countrymen. In fact, both players share the same traits of being great defensively and able to progress the ball. However, when it comes to imposing dominance, Tchouameni is your man. But the most terrifying thing about him, he's only 23 years old. Just like how Real Madrid stole Camavinga from Manchester United, they also hijacked Tchouameni from Liverpool in 2022. But this time, they spent a whopping 80 million euros that could reach 100 million if certain conditions are met. Tchouameni has been eased into the Real Madrid senior squad during his first season, especially in the Champions League. However, he started to make that number 6 position his own during this campaign. The boy can sit deep, dictate the tempo, or act as an anchor leading the team's defensive block. He's dominant both on the ground and in the air, but his ball-striking ability distinguishes him the most. Chu can hit the ball from any angle to stun goalkeepers with either a perfectly placed ball or a thunderous strike. So, these are the 4 Real Madrid players to watch. Now you're probably wondering, why did we choose them? Why only midfielders? Aren't Vinicius and Rodrigo worthy to be mentioned? Well, here's the catch. Real Madrid dominated Europe thanks to their lethal front line of Cristiano Ronaldo and Benzema. But if it wasn't for the legendary trio of Modric, Kroos and Casemiro, the Los Blancos wouldn't have achieved a historic three-peat. Yet time passed by quickly and these players started to age. Casemiro took off and joined Manchester United and now showing clear signs of decline. Kroos and Modric are still at Real Madrid, but their roles have shifted from being first-team players to more of mentors to the new generation. This is where the masterstroke lies. Florentino Perez completed his midfield rebuild before he even had to do a rebuild. He now has 4 midfielders under the age of 25 who are capable of dominating the scene for at least 10 years. Is this the start of a new dynasty? If you don't believe us, just bookmark this video and return to it in 5 years' time. You will then realise that Real Madrid has indeed predicted the future and assembled the best midfield in the world. Now, how many other channels can actually predict the future like we just did? Surely this is worthy of hitting those like and subscribe buttons so we can bring you more amazing videos. And finally, with rumours of Kylian Mbappe joining this party, the future looks blindingly bright for Real Madrid. But now, over to you, true footballers. What's your take on these midfield gems? Are they the real deal? Share your thoughts in the comments below and enjoy these other amazing videos from True Footballers.